Hi guys, it's Camille from Chicken Scratch and Sniff. Today we're going to talk about ideas for teaching Howard W. Hunter chapter 16, which is about marriage and eternal partnership. So I just have a few more ideas. There's lots more resources on the blog, and of course over in our private Facebook group we discuss these lessons and share our ideas and other handouts that you guys make, because you guys are each other's greatest resource and I love it. Okay, so I have a few ideas for you. The first one you may need to get approval from just before. You may be okay, depends on what you think, but I think with Princess Bride it would be a great way to open it up with at least quoting the marriage, it's what brings us together today kind of quote. It's just a little fun thing that can warm people up to the topic. Next thought. So marriage is our training ground. And I have two ideas for how to present this. So let me go over one and then I'll show you the other one, okay? So if you draw 3 circles on the board, I don't have my whiteboard with me today, but if you do this and this, okay. So here's one spouse, the other spouse, and this is God. So this is our training ground, right? And what we are trying to do is become one, right? Not, one person, but one in purpose, one in heart, right? And so as we move closer together, we just get closer to each other. We're not getting closer to God. And so God is a part of our marriages. And so what we actually have to do is move towards God, and then we both end up being closer together as well. Does that make sense? So as we move, both of us move towards God, and then both of us are actually moving close to each other as well. Now, if our spouse isn't moving towards God, but we are, obviously there's going to be a gap there. But moving towards God is more important than not, right? So I was thinking you could also do this with magnets, where you represent the 3 circles that I drew on the paper with magnets, and how sometimes when 2 magnets come together, it repels the third. And so you can kind of do that. I don't have the right type of magnets to show you. I wish I did. But if you get some really good, strong magnets, it can kind of show you how they come together or repel. But as we come with God in our marriage, then all 3 of them come together. So you can kind of show that example and use that object lesson. Okay? Now here's another idea. Since it's back to school time, I've been seeing lots of things on Pinterest and Facebook and everything about all these kindergarten readiness lists, right? Things your kindergarten should know before they go to kindergarten. And it's like they should be able to dress themselves. They should be able to follow 3 simple rules in order, that kind of thing. So what you can do is you can kind of go over that kindergarten list, put it up on the board, and then draw a square for your own marriage readiness list. What you should do before you're ready to be married. Now, you can have people write on a piece of paper, so everybody's writing something down at the same time, and then come bring them up and put them on the board with magnets. You can give people some markers, and a few people can write it up. You can just take ideas and you write it up yourselves. But at the end of this, the point is, yeah, you can go to kindergarten without knowing those things, but kindergarten is going to be a whole lot harder if you don't know those things. And you might even have to repeat the grade because you're just not ready to learn as much as you're supposed to do by the time the end of the year goes, because you're making up for the things that you should have already known. And so that same thing comes with marriage. Yeah, you can get married without doing all those things, but it's going to be a lot harder, and it's going to be on yourself. And so if you can do those things beforehand and be ready, then it's going to be that much easier. Not that marriage is easy, but easier when you are married. Okay, so to talk about that, marriage readiness, kindergarten readiness. Another point that I definitely want to make, and you can do this in your lessons too, because every word is different. I really don't know if you're going to be teaching single people, if you're going to be teaching older people, what's your word like? Everybody's going to be different, and maybe you have a nice mix. But you are not less of a person. You are not less of a Latter-day Saint. You are not less as a Relief Society sister or as a priesthood holder because you are not married. You're not less of a Relief Society sister or priesthood holder because your spouse fell away from the church, because your marriage isn't perfect. It doesn't make you less of a person. It doesn't make you less of a Latter-day Saint. You are you. And there's going to be some blessings that just aren't realized in this life. there are going to be a lot of struggles in this life. And the thing is, we believe in family. The family is the basic unit of the church. We believe in families. And the good news is, you are a part of a family. You're a part of God's family. And if nothing else, you have that. And that can be a great family. And all you can do is all you can do. That's all there is to it. All you can do is all you can do. And so hang on and remember that you are not less because of whatever situation you are in. You are not less because you got a divorce. You're not less because your marriage isn't perfect. You're not less because you're single. All you can do is all you can do. So don't give up on the ideals, but work on your individual. All right, last idea. There's a lot of the sayings where it's like, life happens. Well, frustrations happen. That's part of life, right? And so one of the things that you can do, since this is a marriage lesson, is talk about what you do when there's frustrations to build your marriage instead of tear it down. Because what we choose to do with our reactions to our frustrations will determine that course. So there's a couple of examples. There's one where people are always talking about deposits in a piggy bank, deposits in your spouse's piggy bank. Are you putting in enough in so that when some big problem does arrive, you still have enough left to draw upon and build your relationship on? Maybe you can talk about examples, share examples, because sometimes we get so stuck in our own little bubble that another idea to deal with the frustration doesn't even occur to us because it's just not the way we think. And so as you share ideas of how you handle things and take other suggestions with this, is what do you do to build up your marriage during frustration, then it helps everybody. It helps us think of how to help our own marriages, because your thoughts are different than ours, and it helps us and it gives us the answers that we need. So you can talk about, writing a letter when we're frustrated, talk about how you read your scriptures, how you say a prayer, how you serve somebody, how you play the piano. Do something that gets your frustrations out in a healthy way, where you're actually handling them and not shoving them under a pillow, so that your marriage ends up being stronger and better, and you're able to handle whatever problems come up, but without all that anger and frustration. And then the other point is letting your spouse know how you handle it, so that if you're playing the piano really loud, they kind of get the hint that you need to be alone for a little bit and work through some things, but they can, without being offended by it. And that can help too. All right, guys, those are all my ideas. Good luck on this lesson. I know it's a tender one. I hope it goes well. Keep sharing your ideas in the private Facebook group, and let's help each other out some more. Have a great week.